Okay, let's do it. Good morning. Pretty quiet, really quiet morning to start here. So, started SPX here, and a lot of charts look somewhat similar to this. But last Friday, I didn't put the charts up. Everybody wants charts. All right, there you go. Last Friday, buyers stepped up early in the day, and we had that what I call coma-like trading, and then traders bought into the close. And so we've got these, they're certainly not wide range bars, but wider than, what was preceded them earlier in the week. And so this kind of a pattern says it's going higher. And how high, we'll see. New all-time highs here. So on the call side, that could be dangerous. If, of course, there's always that danger. But there aren't any reference points up above other than, to pick some arbitrary place to say, what was the range? 28 points last week to say, well, if it moved, well, let's project 30 points or 35 points up above here and say 36, 40, just to pick a number as for a credit spread up above. And down below, 36.40 should not be violated since we had 2 days of consolidation here. Even with a pattern like this, this shouldn't even break below Friday's low, because you've got 3 days of resting here, and if we were to get a break below Friday's low, well, I think the next stop would be here. But, again, beginning of the day, any close below yesterday's low is likely to produce more downside action toward 3,600. I don't know if that'll happen, of course, but this pattern, you got a bottoming tail bar, so attempt to go down, and it gaps up. It rests for a couple of more days. It rested on the gap up day, sideways, and then a range expansion. That says it's going higher, so it better not go down. So Glenn, I guess you just came in on YouTube there, but since this is at all-time highs, I just picked an arbitrary number of 37.40 up above. See if there's premium there, and go down below 36.40, because, well, if it breaks Friday's low today, you're, well, beginning of trouble. Let's put it that way. And maybe should cut some contracts loose, because that shouldn't happen. But that should be far enough away with a pattern like that. All right. So the Dow finally got a weekly close above 30,000. So prior to that, on the daily time frame, they had a couple. I think that one was above 30,000. But now we've got a weekly close above 30,000. And while this didn't have the same pattern as SPX, you had to pull back, a retest, and up. It really isn't a range expansion bar, because it's about, I guess, look, as I'm eyeballing it, about the same in range as these. In any event, buyers stepped up. They did it into the close, as you can see here, and they're expecting higher prices. Down below here, it's going to be a problem, short term anyway. All right, let's go to the futures. You can see not much happening here. Pretty darn quiet. A little blip. Well, overnight, I guess, when Europe started trading, I didn't look to see what's going on there, but maybe those markets sold off, and buyers' little retest pattern there, and it's been a grind higher, back up toward the highs, and just a stall day. And it got above Friday's high, but I guess early on, and then just fell. Kind of weird, I guess. Yeah, up here, down, and then coming up into resistance. And we'll see where that goes. another no momentum, slow. You see these bars where the opens and closes are almost exactly the same, these little candle bodies. In any event, it's pushing up here. It's just a grind. And just look at this 60-minute chart. Tails, little advance, sell off, sell off, advance, up, down. This is not normal. I mean, I have seen it before, of course. So normal for a market that is grinding its way higher, with, I guess, fear in a fearful way. Not fearful enough to sell off, but every little push to the upside, it gets hit and gets knocked back down, but not knocked down significantly. Similar Dow, there's not much going on there. And what can you say? There's just not much going on. It's real quiet morning here. Now the Russell, that is the most bullish pattern. They've been leading. And this sideways consolidation of over a week and then a wide range breakout bar. Ideally, the factory work stay halfway in the upper half. And this is your major support down here at just above 1800. This should not violate Friday's low. So Friday's low is an important point today across all of these markets. Dow futures down a little bit. Just hanging out there. Not much happening. Uptrend, really slow. Say push up. And this is, a concern. Well, it's a concern until it's not a concern. Let's put it that way, meaning resting period, push higher, immediately it pulls back to support. It pushes higher, immediately it pulls back, and it just grinds. So it's a strange, trading pattern of, the resting period breakout and immediately hesitancy to push it higher. And it's just how these bars here, the highs are clustered together, and you're getting the point. Futures this morning just stalling here. Similar pattern there where the down and back up again. Overlapping bars. So we go through all these markets looking, is there a clue here that gives us some insight as to what might change? And there isn't here either. This bottoming here, came down, I guess on Friday as the markets went up. And now here it's holding support, and we'll just wait and see. And same thing here in the oil market. So we're looking across all of these markets. Everybody is coming into this week saying, what's the next, news item? Are we getting a corona vaccine? Is it starting? The stimulus? The market has been driven by news, negative and positive, and it's a day-to-day basis. Or intraday, some news comes out that makes some crazy move. Makes it obviously a bit more difficult. So we got the sell setup in gold. And I mentioned last week that historically these kind of sell setups that begin with a wide range bar aren't that high odds to work out. I say one clue, maybe gold and the dollar both have been falling. Yeah, the dollar's been going down for the longest time, and that helped oil go up. So at some point, there'll be a significant gap up or down, or a giant bar, some event, some big tail bar that'll tell us that the waiting is over. Silver has been doing better than gold, and you can see it's holding these lows here. Had a nice reversal last week. We'll see if this can continue to repair the damage. That nasty drop and this chop that's been going on here. So we had that wide range bar last week, and so far it's doing what it's supposed to do. Consolidate at the top near resistance, which is bullish price action. So waiting there as well. I'm just curious to look at the euro here. It's just opens and closes pretty much in the same spot. Obvious uptrend, dollars in a downtrend. As you can see, you could use UUP. See, it's been moving down, and looking at that weekly chart, it's got room to drop. And lastly, the transports look great. Always pattern like that could result in an M top. You don't know until you know, meaning it, we'd have to get a reversal day in the next, today or tomorrow, and to break Friday's low, and then we'd see what happened. But right now, the trends are up in multiple time frames. The assumption is that trends continue until something happens. I've mentioned the internals last week, and you could see that sentiment is not far away from the most extreme, that upper band there, well above the static. When I say static, I mean over decades, that has been your number, bearish number. Breadth came back up, which is a positive. You can see this is the day-to-day breadth, and that's exactly what you want to see on a range expansion day like we saw Friday, where the breadth was nice and positive, got above 1,500. So that was good. But sentiment continues to be, extremely low. The ideal scenario as a market that goes up or starts to move is that option traders go and buy more puts than calls. So, that contrarian view is really helpful. But when they're getting it right, not that the momentum is picking up here in any big way, but when they're getting right and you're at historical extremes like this, that blindsided event that just didn't seem like it was possible or coming based on, the charts, it happens. We just don't know when. So, it's probably good to trade a little smaller. And as we've been saying, keep an eye on the exit door, because historically this has resulted in a move lower, some kind of correction. So there you have it. All yours, Dan.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I was just answering Tony there. He says, is grinding okay if internals are bearish? Yes, the internals have been bearish for, I think, at least 1 week. I think it was 2 weeks, though. And market just keeps going higher. So yeah, grinding, I mean, any type of move higher, we always trade compelling patterns. And that's what I've been saying over and over again. We'll continue to trade on the long side until we see signs of danger. So all our opens are fine. If you have any questions on them, just ask. But I went through everything earlier. IPOB, we have a put spread for next month. This one's gapping up, so we're gonna go ahead and tighten the stop on that. I see in this cruise ship moving up here pre-market. Lyft I saw up. Look at Lyft. I think it had a positive mention, maybe in Barron's. We're in Uber, not Uber. That's Urban. Uber. Not as strong as Lyft, but we're in trail mode. That looks great. Let's go to Gappers. Yala. I don't know what they do, but they've been on fire recently. Nothing to do now. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, all the opens are in the members area. We have 3 separate advisory letters. We have advisory, weekly options trader, and ETF. Each has its own open and closed spreadsheet in the members area. This was on my list on Friday, a little 1, 2, 3 here, bottoming pattern, made a higher low. That had a nice day on Friday and gapping up here. Friday was the entry. As I was doing weekend scanning, I saw Tesla here. I'm like, this thing doesn't want to fall. It's a bullish consolidation at resistance. Now look pre-market. Pre-market, that's a 1, 2, 3. Threatening all-time highs here. Tesla still looks higher. They're going to be added to the S&P 500 on December 21. Who knows? This thing, it might make a kind of a measured move looking, go to 700. I don't know. Take the distance from here to here, and I don't know. But it's sure being loved right now. There was actually an article in, well, not an article, but the standard column on the options trade price, whatever they call it in Barron's. And they mentioned Tesla. I don't like doing it now, but they mention a risk reversal, which is selling out of the money puts where you don't mind owning it, and then taking that premium and buying out of the money calls. So you can, you got two scenarios. Well, you got multiple scenarios. You can either get assigned and you own the stock at a level that you don't mind. You keep that premium as full profit, and then you're participating on the upside. So I obviously teach that, and yeah, I'm well aware of that strategy, but just me reading it, I want to do that more often. I mean, we sell a lot of naked puts on things that we don't mind owning. We're very heavily exposed right now in our open positions. A number of them are these short puts, but you all can remind me in the future, hey Dan, is this a good pattern to do the risk reversal? But yeah, we have a lot of great open positions. BFT 1145, gap into all-time highs. Trade's very sloppy. Trade's very sloppy, but you can watch it pull back. Hey Diego, if you'll change your drop down, all panelists and attendees. Diego's asking about Boeing long. Yeah, I saw it was up, but no, I got no interest. Diego, why? Well, because there's no pattern. It's gapping up here. It's rallied for an hour. It's at resistance. I'm not saying that it might not turn into one, but there's just no pattern right now that I don't see in the first 30 minutes minimum. Ride gapping down, 22 bucks. No good pattern there. Austin, no, these are just gappers. And what I'm doing pre-market here with you, Austin, and everyone else, is I'm going through and I'm analyzing whether it's a gapper that's worthy of watching. But JKS had earnings, and so it was gapping down. So I want to see if it's setting up for a tradable opportunity. It's gapping down a little. It's a nasty bearish engulfing on the weekly. So yeah, 30-minute high. Look at this big price void to the left. I'm going to put that over here. So yeah, JKS is worthy of watching. So that's what I'm doing, going through here and deleting things that I don't want to be bothered with. PDD 145.70, gapping down a little bit. Now this one's worthy of watching because it's bullish 2-bar consolidation in the upper part of this engulfing bar with a bullish weekly. So I don't know how it will set up, but it's worth watching. So I keep that on my list. This thing 19, you missed the boat. So I'm just deleting you. It's not my trade. Missed it. Blink here is worthy of watching. I don't like Thursday's topping tail, but I do like this reversal bar on Wednesday. And then I like the bottoming tail on Friday. So it's making the turn after a pullback. See, there's no support here. So you with the turn has to be created in thin air, but it's doing that right now. So that's it's worthy of watching. LYV, can't tell where it's gapping, but sure, it's in a trading range, top of the range. We'll come back to you. This just looks like junk, AYX. I think McGraw, you wanted to sell a put spread on that, which is fine. You could sell the 105s if there's any juice. Sure. I get it. So that's actually a good, which one was it? Oh, I already deleted it. LYV? Whatever, I already deleted it. But I get the question often, hey, Dan, when you give a credit spread of selling options, can I buy options instead? And I'm like, no, because I don't know what the pattern looks like. And we do so many credit spreads, like the one I just showed you, where it is not a directional. But going through my checklist, it's a good credit spread because, I'm just calling support or resistance for a couple of days. AMD, yeah, that's gapping up. I mean, 5-minute high is a little aggressive, Khaled. Particularly on Mondays, I like waiting 10 minutes, but sure, that's a day trade. That's a day trade watch. Plant, yeah. Now, I would only do half of a Friday's high and half Thursday's high, Abdul, because you got competing tails. But it's worth watching. I'll put it on the list. GLBS gapping down 7.7. Yeah, I just call that kind of, it could set up for a day trade short, but it's a bearish gap, but it's gapping. It's like a mess. It's just a mess to me. The reason I looked at him is because I saw in the news that they bought like 2,500 Bitcoins last week at 19,400. And then my first reaction is, dude, you need to hire me to help you get better timing of your Bitcoin. But yeah, a lot of these Bitcoin's been hot, electric vehicles have been hot, like junk has been moving. And I think that one is getting pretty toppy. So I'm actually going to watch that as a candidate for a bear call credit spread. 916, the gap's too big. See, way the heck up here. So I have no interest. I'm just going to delete it. Same here. Gap's too big. No interest. Kodak, I read that they got some report saying, yeah, their loan was okay, whatever, no fraud in it, but that's junk. Diego, where you were typing to me, or Greg, is he in the Spanish room? Is he meaning to only type to us? Okay. All right, cool. All right, so Guild day trade. I like the wide range igniting. Pre-market. It's at resistance here. So it would be a nice candidate if it can take out a 30-minute high. It's turning here. You know, it made a higher low, higher high, 20 MA curling up. GSX, you know, I came so close to putting this in the as a put spread candidate in the weekly options trader, just because like the $50 puts were 75 cents. And what do you think the odds of that pattern staying above 50 are in 5 days? Now so here's another example. I would never buy this. I would never buy options on this, never. There's no pattern. But if I can put 70 cents a share by selling a put right here that I get to keep for 5 days, then yeah, now you got my attention. But I don't know what's up, and obviously that's why the premiums were high. There must have been pending news because it's rocking now. But actually, we'll come back and look at the puts later. TRI breaking out here daily. Buy setup on the weekly. Qualcomm had a beautiful day on Friday. It's gapping up here. Semis were strong. They're gapping up to all-time highs. Look at that. The strength in the market is just shocking to me. Yeah, this was in the letter. ADT, little bottoming pattern. So we can do 5-minute high, Rich. 5-minute high is fine. That's what our rules say when something gaps over. GPN, I mentioned this Friday into the close. That looks good. Apple, we're gonna watch. Disney, a 1, 2, 3 watch. Urban, I like. I like over Friday's high. Urban, making the turn there. PBA, this is a little bull flag we were watching last week. ENTG was strong on Friday. That's all-time highs, looks higher. And there's ADT again, NVIDIA. Remember when we were scanning on Friday and I said, hey, what's the first thing that jumps out at you all? And you said slop, trading range, this and that. And all those were correct answers. But I said, hey, but what if it gets over Thursday's high? Then we're going to sell put spread. FRHC, Jake, I have no idea what you want me to do with that, so you need to ask. Okay, so let me ask you this. You've been with us, about almost a year now. Is this a setup that I would go long on the daily chart? It's up 10 bars, far from the 20. So the answer is no. But if you get a bullish setup on the 15-minute chart, then I'm totally for it. But I don't have a bullish setup on the 15-minute chart. I gotta wait. Maybe 30-minute high could be a day trade. I don't know. But as of right now, in the first 5-10 minutes, I got no interest. All right, Q is the strongest here. A small little on the 15-minute chart, breakout failures. On the 15, little, the gap down is a breakout failure on the spiders and diamonds. Yeah, ADT, you can do, 5-minute high ADT is fine. JR is asking about Oxy long. No, it's far from the 20, bearish gap down. Gap downs into wide range bar, 50% or more are bearish. So no, I would stay away from that. Oki is on my list though for a core trade, but I miss the entry. Devon long, another oil. No, same reason. I like the monthly, but multiple time frame alignment. You need a better entry. Look at the weeklies up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, far from the 20. I mean, look at the 20 MA on the weekly. It's 11 bucks. So 5 divided by 16, it's 33% away. So your daily weekly is extended. It's not good. And if you were buying it as a core trade though, I mean, like, you know, it does look higher on the monthly, but you need a really big stop. Yeah, Apple, you can do 5-minute high. Yeah, let's not trade in the first 5 minutes.